Awesome. So, welcome everybody to the Coffee with Tim. It's Tuesday the 8th, and I am not in Vegas, even though I was going to be. So that's all right. That is okay. We're all here. We're all having coffee, and it's going to be good. So today's topic, I wanted to go over converting a lead to, basically booking a lead manually. I think it was 2 videos ago, I showed how to book a lead using proposals, and this time I'm going to show you how to just do it all manually for people who are like literally just getting started and they're like, what is a lead, what's a client, what is all this stuff? It's so confusing, so help me. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So here we go. So there's actually a lot of different ways that you can create a lead inside of Pixifi. You can use one of our built-in inquiry forms, which you can find in your settings, brands, and then edit your brand. And I'm just going to show you that real quick. Once you've created your custom URL, you'll see this little inquiry fields tab, and here you'll actually be taken to your form. And then below, you can choose which fields are visible, which ones are not, which ones are required. Switch the event date to a small calendar or a large calendar. You can do a couple of different things. So that's one way that you can get a lead into the system. There are other ways. You can easily, from any page, hover over this little lightning bolt and then add a quick lead. And in here you can give some of their client information as well as their event information, choose the date and all that stuff. This lead type, all of these types are your event types, which you can set up really easily from here, settings, lists, and types, and then event types. And you can create all those there. That's where they're coming from. So you can create all this, or if you click over here on your dashboard and click Edit Dashboard, which I'll just do for this demo, you can add this Latest Leads widget to your dashboard. Just kind of drag it from the available to the dashboard widgets. And the cool thing there is you can, from here, you can add a new lead or add a new lead from an email. And you can literally paste in the email text. It should be like, let's just say I pasted that in from my email. When you hit Get Data from Email, it'll parse it, and here it parsed the information and put it right into the fields, and then you can just hit Create Lead. So that's another quick way to create a lead without having to type it all out. The other place you could do it is actually in the Leads module itself. So just go over to Contacts and then down to Leads, and in this Actions section, you can either add a new lead or add a quick lead. And the difference, like I showed you before, this quick lead has just a few fields that you can enter in just to do it quickly. And if you click this Add New Lead, you'll see you'll be presented with every possible field that you could enter in. So within each lead or client, you have multiple contacts and all of their different information, all of their address information, other information, event information. So it's all here if you go to Leads and then Add Lead. So I'm just going to go back to the Leads module. I'm going to pull up this sample lead that I have. Good old Jane Doe. Awesome. So here you can see this is the leads profile. You can see that we have all of her information, her address, who she was referred by, the date of first contact. Down here you'll see I have a bunch of demo custom fields that I added. And then here's all of the event information. I can just click and edit. For any of the fields that aren't here that you can inline edit, just click on this little edit button at the top and you'll be taken to all the fields that you can edit. Great. So now you've talked with Jane, and remember this is how we're going to do it manually. So this is not through a proposal, but basically anything that we've so you've talked to Jane and Jane is ready to book. So what you can do is click on this little actions button and convert lead into a client. And so what this is going to do is this is going to convert our lead into a client and an event. And I could also choose to have it automatically apply a workflow template, which I will. Let's just do that one and where I want to start. And let's convert this lead. Great. And so after converting the lead, we're taken immediately to this brand new event. So this event was just created, and now you'll be able to see all the different things that we have going on here. I'm just going to remove these event reminders real quick, just so I don't get tons of emails. Okay, great. So what I did when I converted them, I automatically applied a workflow template, and so that's why you'll see all these different tasks here and this little percentage, just letting me know I'm 18% of the way done. Okay, so here we are. We've just converted this lead. Now we're in the event. At any time up here in this little breadcrumb trail, I can see that this event belongs to Jane Doe. I mean, I could also see right here that it belongs to her, but I can click anywhere in here and take me back to the client or to my events listing. You can also change how this breadcrumb bar works in your settings and application settings. So by default, this is just kind of a side note so you guys understand it. But by default, if you click on clients, it'll take you to all of the clients listing. And if you click on events, it'll take you to all of the events, like the clients module and the events module. But you can change it so that if you're in an event, in this case wedding, if you click on events, you can have it go to all the events that are for Jane, instead of taking you just to the regular events module. So you can change that anytime in settings and application. Cool. That was just a side note. That was a freebie. So anyway, so now Jane's ready to book. What I'm going to do next is create an invoice for her. So I go to the Invoices tab and hit Create New Invoice. And it automatically detects that I'm coming from an event, so it's linked it right to her event automatically. And I can either build this invoice manually just by hitting Create Invoice and not building it from a package, or I can automatically build it from one of my package templates. And if you haven't set up a package template, I think the video either last week or the week before, I go over how to do that. So hopefully you watch that, but if not, that's okay. So I'm going to have it automatically build my invoice from a package and then split up the auto payments. And these are payment term templates that you can set up as well. I'm just going to build out this real quick invoice. And you'll see here are all the different items that I've added to my package. So it's automatically been created here, which is great. It's done all the tax and totaling. And in my payment term template, I also had it set up payment reminders. So let me just delete those so I don't get, well, I'll just delete the whole payments themselves so I don't get tons of emails. All right. And okay, so we've created the invoice. Now we know exactly what she wants. We're going to go back to her event real quick. And now we're going to create a contract because I want her to sign something. So we're going to hit Create New Contract. Choose one of my contract templates. To all the information. And you'll see that because I created the invoice first, now it's already associated here in the contract. So it automatically populated all of the, in my contract template, I had it set to the variable set to invoice line items, and now it's populated all the line items directly from the linked invoice. So to show you, if I unlink it and then reselect my contract template, you'll notice that now there's no line items here and none of the totaling amounts are here. So make sure that you create the invoice first, so that way your contract knows exactly where to grab all the information. Cool. would help if I could actually type. There we go. This is the contract for Jane. I'm going to hit save. And just remember, there's a much better way of doing all of this using proposals, but just for this demo, I want to show you how to do it all manually. So we've created this contract. Now I want to choose who I want to sign it. And the cool thing about the recipients, who you want to sign it, you can either populate it from the existing client themselves, or you can add any recipient you want. So say you want the mother, some crazy reason you want to have someone else, or maybe they're demanding that someone else sign it other than the client, you could do that. Okay, and now that we've added our recipients, I can say, ooh, when they sign this, I also want them to make a payment. So if I hadn't deleted those payments on that test invoice, they would show up here. But on this, I'm just going to real quick open it. On this test invoice, I'd already deleted those auto-generated payments. So that's why it's not showing up here. So I'm just going to add a $500 retainer fee. And great. I can go and review the text one more time. Just click on that little edit and kind of walk through it and just make sure everything's in there. I have some required checkboxes and some initial fields in there. So everything looks good. So now all I have to do is send the contract. And you'll want to, this blue info bubble will let you know that you need, at the minimum, these two variables that will be populated once it gets sent. Every contract in Pixifi, or every recipient that's added to a contract, is given a uniquely generated password that only they can access to gain access and sign the contract. So that's why when you have your email template that you set up, you want to make sure that the contract link is in there and the recipient password. Great. So I'm going to hit send, except I'm not going to hit send because I don't actually own jane@doe.com or mother@bride.com, so I'm not going to hit cancel. And I'm going to show you a different way. This is great for if you have someone who wants to sign in person. Just click on this little sign in person button, and then click that button, and it generates a unique link for that specific recipient. And now they'll be taken right to the contract. They won't have to log in or know a password or anything like that. And they can initial their fields, check boxes, and sign it. Awesome. And oh, I actually, yep, let's sign the in person with Mother of the Bride. Okay, not getting too fancy here. Okay, great. So now it's been signed. There's a little notice there. I'll have to take a look and see what happened. But now it's prompting the mother of the bride to make the payment since she's the last person to sign it. And so then it would take her to PayPal or Authorize.net or whoever I have set up for my account. So that is how you book a lead manually. So you take the lead, convert it to a client and an event, then on the event create the invoice, and then after you're done creating the invoice, then create the contract. Also, just as like a suggestion, anything that you do for your client, I would suggest doing it for your event. And what I mean by that is any questionnaires you want to send them, I would suggest that you send them, that you attach them to the event itself. Same with invoices and stuff like that. Technically in Pixifi, you can create questionnaires on the actual client record, and you can even create general invoices on the client record, but I would highly suggest you create everything on the event itself. So yeah, and you can also add staff to this event, who's shooting it. You can add vendors. There is this event alerts section. So the difference between event alerts and event reminders send out emails. So you can, like I've created some templates, but here's a manual one. You would just choose the date, the time to send, and which event template you want to send, and who you want it to send to. So you can choose whether you have this email sent to the clients, any staff members, or vendors. That's an email reminder. And then an event alert. These are different. These are when you've had when you have your events calendar synced to your Google Calendar or iCal or whatever. These alerts pop up those little push notifications. I don't know if you've ever done it, but I always have my events remind me like an hour before, and so I could say, remind me of this event 1 hour before on my phone, and it'll just whoop, pop up. So that's the difference between an alert and a reminder. Okay. Oh, there's some questions here. So, is there any way to remove the requirement for both clients signing? We frequently have the bride or groom signing at the same time on one computer instead of each logging in separately. So, Kate, in that case, if you only need one signature, let me just go back to my contract. At any time, you can just delete the recipient. After the first person has signed, you can just delete it, and then at midnight Eastern time, a script goes through Pixifi and will mark that contract as accepted. So even though it'll still look like pending, because only one person signed it, it'll mark it as accepted. So you won't have to do that. Just remove the other person who hasn't signed. Does anyone else have any questions they want me to answer? Anything that I've done that maybe I went too fast and you want me to go over? Feel free to just ask in the questions field. Oh, okay, sure. Kate's question is, can I go back to the settings that show events only for that client? Okay, so in this breadcrumb bar right now in my current setting, if I click on, well, actually, I think I switched it, but here you go to settings and application, and I'll just show you real quick where that is. So in this breadcrumb style nav, by default it'll say old. Just switch it to new, and then scroll down, hit update, and then I'll just show you what that will do. So now that I have it set to new, when I click on events or contracts or something like that, it will go to, I don't know why I just clicked on the client. That was so silly. That was a brain. There you go. So now I clicked on events, it'll take me right to my client and show me all of the events that I have scheduled for that client. Becca said, is there a way to automatically add event alerts to new events by default? There isn't, but once I finally finish the event templates, sorry, not event timelines, the event templates module, you'll be able to set defaults. So you'll be able to say, every time I create an event using this event template, these are the things I want it to have. I want it to have this questionnaire automatically scheduled, and this these documents automatically linked, and these event alerts, and all that stuff. So once you set it up, every time you apply that portrait session event template, then your event will get all of those defaults right from it. So I just need to hurry up and finish that. So does that sound cool? Okay, cool. Awesome. Good questions, everybody. Anyone have any others? Hope you guys are all enjoying your coffee. Adam, I just saw your icon, your profile photo. It's amazing. Guys are so quiet today. Tim, that's because we're all muted. It's crazy. Oh, there is a question? I didn't see any. Can you tell me what the question is? Or just copy and paste it? I didn't actually see that there was a question. Can I attach my workshops to an event and in turn merge a contract with each attendee? Oh, I see what you're saying. So let me see. I don't think so. Um, what are we talking about? We're talking about workshops here, not workflow. So the question is, okay, so I have a button to create a client from the attendee, um, but I don't have it set to, and I create an invoice, but I don't have it set to create um, an event and contract. Um, so, oh wait, Sarah, you've actually joined. So great, great, you're actually here in the room. Um, can you message me privately later and then just tell me exactly what you needed to do and I'll add it in there? Okay, cool. Awesome. So what should I do if I have multiple clients, up to 100 clients per event? Do you still recommend connecting them all to that one event? Well, actually, that there's a limitation for events. Events can only have one client, um, like one actual client linked. So um, you actually won't be able to attach all 100 to it. But I mean, if you're really doing 100 clients per event, what I could suggest then is set yourself as the client, like create a client um, as yourself. And then what I would do is, and this might just be a little crazy, um, but I would create a client category for each of those big events, and then batch apply that category to your clients, so that um, anytime you want to email them about that specific event, you could just hit this filter options button and then filter by category. And so this would be the event on March 20th, 2016. And now, okay, now I see all of these clients, and I can um, batch email them or whatever. That's just my suggestion, because it only supports one client per event. So hope that helps. Oh, okay, awesome, great. Guys have great questions. This is great. Anyone else? guys must all be Pixifi geniuses. This is great. There's like no questions. Can I attach multiple invoices to one task? So you can't actually attach an invoice to a task, but you can attach as many invoices as you want to an event, and as many contracts as you want. So here in the Invoices tab of an event, you can go crazy and just keep creating invoices. So technically, for that event that you have 100 people on, you could have 100, 200 invoices that are all here on this event. Or you can create what's called a general invoice and attach one invoice per client. So that way, each client has their own specific invoice linked to them. That might be the better way for you to go, just because your one event is kind of general, and you might not want to, and you might actually want that, but you might not want to see 100 invoices here in this event. But if you do that, you could totally do that. Oh, Jasmine, you guys have too many questions. Oh. Jasmine, go ahead. If you have too many questions, just fire one away. Go for it. Happy to answer whatever you got. Yes, the lead referral section, I have been making changes. You can. It's just a little different, and I'll show you how it works. Yep. So here I am in my demo lead, which is just warning me about all these good stuff. So when I come down here to the associate a referrer, you're now taken to this new pop-up. And here are all of the referral sources I've already created. But say it came from another place that I haven't actually created the referral source. You just click on this little plus button and it'll say, hey, click to add a new source. You click on this, and then you can either type it in, just manually type in the new resource, like this is from Google. Or you can choose from an existing client, or choose from an existing vendor that you've already added in the system. And what it will do is then it will create that as a new source. So as soon as I hit, well, let me just choose one I haven't. Here's test. As soon as you hit that, now it's created it and added it right to this little combo box, so you can hit save. And now, yeah, and now that source will be added right to your main referral source list. Hope that helps. All right, cool. So Ryan's question is, show me what happens when someone books on a booking page and then they like close out of the page instead of paying and signing a contract. All right, so here I am in my demo booking page. Oh, let me switch it up just a little bit. So I'm going to this auto approve orders feature. I'm going to hit yes. I want it to automatically be approved. All right, so now I'm going to go to my booking page and book a session real quick. Click on this 30-minute portrait session. I'm not going to add anything. Just going to choose the 2:40 time slot. Okay. I'm booking the event. Now it's taking me to the contract that it wants me to sign. And I'm not going to do anything. Just going to close out of the page. Okay, so now you've gotten an email that a booking came in, but you'll probably see this little red icon in here. There we go. See that little red icon? That means the contract hasn't actually been signed yet. So you're kind of like, oh, what is going on, people? Okay, so click on this little view order button. Okay, and it's letting you know, hey, the contract hasn't been signed. And then this little your contract right here, this is actually a link. So I'm going to open it in a new tab. And I'm going to add them as a recipient and hit save. And now I'm just going to send it right to them because they ignored it. And I'm letting them know, hey, your session isn't booked until you sign, and hey, because you got to get paid. So I'm not going to send it to myself, but then you would sign it to them, and the invoice is already linked. So technically, in your email template, you could, like your once the contract is signed template, you could have it send them a link automatically to the invoice, or you could then just manually copy, which would defeat the whole purpose. But then you could just manually copy the invoice link and send it to them as well. And then once they sign that, this will be the little red thing will go away, and it'll know that everything's booked. Does that help you, Ryan? Okay, awesome. Great. Oh, and Jasmine, you said you love the new charts in the refer section. Awesome. Yeah, I tried to make it a little easier to see what's going on, so you can see inquiries versus the actual like bookings. And so I have it broken down by however many years you view, or you can just view 1 year at a time and see if there are no inquiries in that month, like none show up in this chart, then that means that every inquiry that came in was booked. So in February, the inquiry came through and was booked. In March, one was booked, but the other one was archived. So I hope that that kind of explains that. The goal would be to not see any of these inquiries in here and only see bookings, but obviously we know that not everyone books, so which is a bummer. Becca, just message me privately, and I'll work with you to see what's going on. Anyone else have a question? Is there somewhere that you have the definitions for each of the different things in Pixifi? I don't really know conceptually what the differences are between projects and workflows. Oh, I'm glad that you asked that, because just yesterday I started building this little like visualization diagram. I don't even know what you want to call it. Like I don't even know what the word is, but I started creating it to try and kind of explain the differences between some of the things. So Let me see if I can find the link real quick. Chart, thanks. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. So, okay, so let me just open this in a new tab. So I started creating this chart that kind of goes over some of the differences and kind of the way things work in Pixifi. So I kind of explained that, you know, you have one client and the client can have multiple events, multiple projects. It can belong to multiple categories. It can have many tasks and can also have many relationships. An event belongs to a single client and can have only one workflow, but can have many questionnaires, many staff, many galleries that are linked up, many time entries, many vendors, many event reminders, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to read everything, but then a project can have many contracts, many tasks, many invoices, one workflow, belongs to a single client, many questionnaires, many time entries. And then I said, you know, the difference between like an event versus a project, an event is tied to a specific date or dates on a calendar. It's perfect for getting something on the calendar like, you know, a wedding or a portrait session or something like that, an event, consultation, a meeting. Whereas a project has a start and an end date, so it's very fluid. It's not tied to one date on the calendar. It's perfect for working on things that are multi-day, multi-week, multi-month, doesn't matter. Great for tracking time, building things. People use projects for album design, so they can create a project workflow and apply it to their project. And the workflow template that they set up will show them all the different tasks they have for creating an album. And that's just, you know, one example. So I guess maybe on this diagram or this chart, I should add another section that kind of explains workflow a little bit, you know, visually, just so that people can kind of understand it. Does that help at all? Oh, great. Yeah. Here, let me paste that link to you. I just paste it in the chat. I'll put it in the main window of the hangout. Anyone else? Payment terms. Is there a way to have the program estimate timeline differently? Whoops. Sorry. Settings, lists and types, and payment terms. Okay, so here's what I've done. I've created a brand new payment term type. And so when I go into my payment term template and I add the actual payment template, it used to only be these top four, but now there's one called split into equal payments. And the way that works is I told it in this specific sample, you know, do 20% down as a retainer on this first payment template, and then in the second one, split the remaining balance into 3 equal payments, and make the final one that it creates, you know, of the 3, make the final one due 2 weeks before the event, and then to determine, you know, how much time is in between each of the 3 that it's going to create, I said the frequency between each payment, make it 2 weeks. So it will generate, you know, 3 payments. The last one will be due 2 weeks before the event date, and then it will create one 2 weeks before that, and then one 2 weeks before that. But you can set it to days, weeks, or months in the frequency. So I hope that helps you. Yeah, so just go in there and create a new payment term template and just kind of mess with that, and you can then apply that to one of your invoices. Let me just go to an invoice real quick to show you. That way you can test it to see if it works the way you want it. I'm going to real quick just load up a dummy invoice. All right, and this one has no payments, so I'm just going to click Add Auto Payments, and then I'm going to choose this one. And so here it split it up into, these are 3 equal, and then that's the deposit. So you can just kind of test your template as you go and tweak it to be exactly how you want it. Awesome. So the question was projects and invoices. I want to create an invoice that is then directly make that attached to a project. What's the easiest way to do that? The easiest way I would say is to first create the project and then create the invoice. And make sure that before you create your project that you just have a couple of different project types set up. But if not, if you did create the invoice first and afterwards you want to associate it with a project, what you can do is first go to your invoice that you've already created, click on this Edit Invoice tab, and oh, you know what? If it's a general invoice, you can change it to an event or a project one, but this one's already an event one, so I guess I don't have a way to then change that to a project one. Was yours created as like a general invoice, or have you not actually created one yet? I guess I don't know your question fully. So if you haven't, okay, well, I would suggest creating the project first. Then when you click on the invoices tab of that project, I'll just go in there real quick to show you. Yep, no problem. So here I am in my test project. Oh yeah, invoices, sorry, not time tracking. So here I can just click on create new invoice. And as soon as the invoice module pops up, it automatically knows to set it to project and which project I came from. So it automatically kind of associates it. Okay. So if you're going to be taking phone orders, not knowing what kind of project it would be, then in that case, just click on Add New Invoice, set it as General, and if the client already exists in the system, you can select them here. You can also type. We'll kind of filter this list so you can choose the right one. And then once that invoice is created, so here, let me just real quick create this one. Right now, this is an empty invoice, so I'm going to real quick populate it from some of my products that I've already added. Alrighty, so I've populated this out. It's great. Then see how there's this switch type on the invoice that I'm in right now? When you hit this switch type, then it'll let you know, okay, so we created it as general, but now I want to associate it with a specific project that I've already created. And then you can choose the product and hit update type. Project once you've created it. So if you're just trying to create invoices on the fly quickly and then later go in and create the projects, you can totally do that. Just create them as a general invoice. Does that help? Does that make sense? Will that work for you? No, what I was saying is you can create the invoice while you're on the phone as a general invoice, and then later create the project and just when you go to the invoice, just tell it instead of being a general invoice, um, now I'm going to make this a project invoice, and then you can choose the project that you just added in this little box, and then you can update this invoice. So now instead of it just being general, only linked to the client, now this invoice will actually belong to that specific project, so you can track it there. Does that make sense? Well, it's not really that many steps, especially if you already have all of your products entered in, um, or if you have packages. I mean, it's so easy to create an invoice um, from a package. Like I think I showed earlier, you just click Add New Invoice, choose the package, and you can have it automatically populate with all the items in the package. So um, I would suggest if you don't use packages, but you just use a lot of different like if you don't use packages, then I would suggest setting up your product um, template. Wait, what? Yeah, okay. The invoice is easy, but well, here's what I would suggest then. If you're um, the easiest way, just wanting to create some sort of task attached to an invoice from editors to see then do. Okay, well, um, tasks, invoices don't have tasks associated to them. So um, what you'd really want to do is create a project, and the project can have all of the tasks, all of the invoices, all the contracts associated with it. So I'd say even better for you would be when you're getting a phone call, click on that little add quick lead, set the lead to a project lead, choose your project type, or don't choose the type, choose a start date, enter in their client information here. Okay, this is going to create a project lead. Um, and then I can go up to actions and convert this lead into a client, and that will generate the project for me. If they're already an existing client, then it's even easier to create a project for them. Let me just load up. Oh, I'm still filtering here. Get rid of this category. All right. So if they're already an existing client, I can either search for them in this top bar or just go to the clients module and find them in there. And you'll see right here, there's this projects section. You just click add project, give it a name and a type, and then, so I'll just give this a test. And now this project is automatically associated with my client. And from here, I can go and create their invoice, add any tasks that I want people to do. I can automatically assign a workflow, which would already have all of the tasks and phases already built into it. So here's all the tasks. Yeah, I can track my time with this project, add all the different questionnaires and stuff like that. So, and now this is automatically linked with my existing client. So cool. Alex, is there a way to import product templates from a spreadsheet exported as a CSV? You're so welcome. Alex, can you email me that spreadsheet? I have to see how it's structured to be able to build an importer for you, but I don't think that would be too hard. You know, if it's just like a simple CSV spreadsheet, I think I should be able to make something for you. That wouldn't be too hard. Anyone else? Okay, awesome. Anyone else have any other questions? We've got 5 minutes left down the home stretch. If nobody has any other questions, then payment terms. Is split into equal payments a percentage number? So let's go to settings, lists and types, and payment terms. No, there's no percentage in here. It generates, like it calculates the percentage for you. You just tell it if you want it to split it into. So this could be, you know, I want it to be split into 15 payments, or, you know, if I do a yearly plan, I want to split it into 12 payments. And the frequency between each payment that's generated is 1 month. So, and the final payment is going to be due 2 weeks before the event, or I could just say, let's just say 0 days before the event. And so then the last payment will be due that day, and then it will generate 11 more payments 1 month apart, moving backwards from there. Does that make sense? In this, you know, in this example. Cool. Awesome. No, I still have to retake a look at that, Alex. I started looking at that last year, and I need to just dig back into that code that I was working on my experiments and see if I can figure that out, so that, you know, the payments will automatically adjust if a payment that's not part of the schedule is made. You know, then we just automatically update it. But I still have to go look at that code from my experiments that didn't work out too well. So yeah, at this time, no. They're, you know, once you generate auto payments on an invoice, they're static. But I'll have to go take a look at that again and see if I can get it working. Yeah, I wish it was something simple to code. So yeah, you're not missing anything. It's a limitation of me. Awesome. Well, I guess I'm just going to end this, and I hope this was beneficial to you guys. Yeah, so I hope you guys all have a great day. Thanks for tuning in and drinking coffee and having fun. And you guys rock. You're awesome. And as always, you know, if you have any other questions, just ask them in the Facebook group or send us an email. And yeah, have a great day. Bye, everybody.